In 1984, George Orwell presents a chilling vision of a society rigidly divided into classes. The tripartite class system he envisions is not just descriptive, but functionally designed to preserve power indefinitely. At the top, the inner party, the high, holds control over the mechanisms of governance, thought, and historical narrative. Beneath them, the outer party, the middle, functions as both servant and enforcer, bound by strict discipline and indoctrination. At the base, the proles, the low, are the overwhelming majority, yet systematically ignored, pacified by distractions, and rendered politically irrelevant. This structure is not accidental. It is cultivated. The high preserve their dominance by simultaneously suppressing the ambitions of the middle and ignoring the political potential of the low. The middle, meanwhile, is both oppressed and empowered. It is tasked with managing the system, but under constant surveillance and threat. It aspires to ascend, often imagining revolution as a path to power. The low, in contrast, are not even truly participants in this dynamic. They are treated more as terrain than actors, their political potential deliberately stunted through poverty, spectacle, and fragmented attention. Orwell outlines a historical rhythm. The middle, frustrated by subjugation, seeks to overthrow the high. In order to do so, it must appeal to the low, rallying their numbers for revolution. If successful, the middle replaces the high, and the cycle begins anew. What's critical here is that the revolution never empowers the low. They are never the end, only the means. Once the middle secures power, the alliance dissolves, and the low are returned to their previous state of neglect. This movement appears cyclical, but it is ultimately a trap. In the world of 1984, the cycle is anticipated and diffused in advance. The high no longer fear the revolution because they have perfected a system that manages the ambitions of the middle and the distractions of the low. Ideology, surveillance, and the falsification of history ensure that revolt is not just improbable, it is structurally impossible. The very tools that might have enabled rebellion are turned inward. Language is corrupted, truth is fluid, and memory becomes malleable. The potential energy of class struggle is absorbed by the machinery of control. The most haunting insight is that power no longer needs to respond to revolution. It prevents its conditions. The party has recognized the mechanisms of past cycles and built a system that mimics the appearance of revolution without the risk. In this model, even when the middle organizes and the low stirs, it leads not to transformation, but to recalibration. The party remains, merely altering its face. This explains why the proles, despite being the majority, never rise. They are not a sleeping giant. They are a managed resource. Their passions are redirected into sex, violence, entertainment, any outlet except politics. They lack not only power, but the very tools of political awakening. The party has learned that it is not enough to suppress rebellion. One must prevent the consciousness that makes rebellion possible. The class structure described here does not just resist change, it metabolizes it. Ambition, frustration, even rebellion are all anticipated within the system and used to justify its tightening grip. The high remain in power not simply through brute force, but through a form of dynamic equilibrium that gives the appearance of movement, while ensuring that nothing fundamental ever shifts. This is not a stable society in the traditional sense. It is a sustainably unstable one, designed to preserve its imbalance. The middle is kept agitated but ineffective. The low are ignored but pacified, and the high, by mastering both, need never fear the historical cycles that once overturned empires. In Orwell's world, history does not end, but it does stop moving.